Let's stay in the north. The Māori gardens of Poroti Springs near Whangarei are celebrating tonight. After years of fighting for some control of the aquifer that feeds their springs, they're applauding the government buyout of Zodiac Holdings, the water bottling company over the road. Here's Lois Williams.
The government announced this afternoon it's paid $7.5 million to buy up Zodiac's property at Poroti. The package includes 4 hectares of land, the bore sites and the company's 35-year consents to take water from the Wharatiri aquifer. The Minister for Treaty Negotiations, Andrew Little, says the assets will all be held for future treaty settlements.
It's good as Treaty Minister to get this over the line and have it there. It gives a little bit of assurance to local iwi and Hapu up there that this now is secured and available to them as part of any future treaty settlement, so they can be sure about that.
The Wharatiri Māori trustees who own the springs on behalf of local Hapu are over the moon. The Poroti Springs treaty claims considered the leading claim over Māori interests in fresh water. The chair of the trustees, Meryl Carter, says it's almost unbelievable that the long battle for real kaitiakitanga has been won.
I'm pretty excited, just pretty excited. As you know, our battle's been long and hard, and especially, to protect the springs. And so to have Zodiac moved out and no longer have the fear of, water being taken out, shipped out and sent overseas, etc., it's really awesome.
Zodiac says it's always tried to accommodate the concerns of the Poroti Guardians. It says the deal is a significant step forward in resolving their grievance, and the land and consents package could provide them with economic opportunity. But the Hapu spokesman, Milan Ruka, says the trustees have no intention of using Zodiac's bores.
We've never had any intent to draw any water ourselves from the bore site. We want to see that decommissioned, terminated.
As recently as March, Zodiac said it was planning to truck water from Poroti to a bottling factory at Marsden Point. But it says several factors affected its decision to exit the business. They include potential changes to the Overseas Investment Act, government plans to tax water bottlers, and the growing risk of trade wars in target markets like China. Andrew Little says talks between the government and Zodiac started 3 years ago under the former Minister of Treaty Negotiations, Chris Finlayson. He says the government's offer of $7.5 million was made after thorough valuation work before his time, but he felt it was a fair one.
I thought the price was, given the advice, it was the right thing. I mean, there clearly were attempts by the vendor in the last few months to hike that price even further. We refused to pay any more. We've now got an agreement that the land is now in Crown ownership. It's in the land bank. And look, we'll deal with it as we get through the treaty settlements for that area in the next wee while.
Milan Ruka says Hapu had no idea until very recently that the government was looking to buy Zodiac out, but he's a happy man today. He says Zodiac should be too.
But we can't, waste our thoughts on, how well they've done out of it. We've got to consider that this government has alleviated the problem of having Zodiac across the road, 90 metres across the road, taking our water.
Milan Ruka says Poroti water should be used firstly to keep the springs healthy and secondly for the Whangarei community. He says the Māori trustees will in future be seeking a water rights sharing agreement with the council and local irrigators. For Checkpoint, Lois Williams.